And finally, we talk a lot about these different demographics and these assumptions of where they're going to go. Latinos in Texas, a district that's 97% Latino, went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why?
Misogyny.
It's on the border. The border crisis is on their doorstep. And they were begging people to care about it for years. We need to take some lessons.
That's what that was.
The lessons are not
Knock, knock. Who's there? Oh my gosh, it's Whoopi.
And that is why they keep on losing. Why don't you go ask the source? And you'll be surprised when you hear them in Spanish how they talk about their own people.
Don't get me wrong.
Nada de esas palabras que ha dicho Donald Trump sobre los inmigrantes cuando llama animales a algunos de los que vienen por la frontera. Tú no te sientes incluida en esa lista. No, yo no, o sea, hay mucha gente que obviamente así sean ilegales, son buenas personas que vienen por la frontera, pero digámoslo como son, o sea, sí hay animales que están viniendo, hay violadores, hay secuestradores de niños, hay gente que son malvados, tenemos el tren de Aragua viniendo por Venezuela, entonces hay gente muy malvada también, pero no les digamos animales. Bueno, pero ha venido la hablar de niños, ¿qué te parece que es? Si hubiera un niño de 2 años, ¿qué te parece que es? Ok, violadores de niños, no tenemos ninguna confirmación, un violador de niños ha sido una excepción y que se refiera de esa manera a un grupo grandísimo de personas, muchos de ellos vienen huyendo de la pobreza, entonces, pero huir de la pobreza no te da el derecho de venir a este país, ilegalmente, ¿no? Ok, bueno Linda, muchísimas gracias. Ella estaba ahorita celebrando hace unos momentos los números preliminares que vimos de Pensilvania.
Ladies and gentlemen, I live around immigrants. They lock the doors. They lock the church door like we need to be careful. They're stealing kids. I'm like, but we're in Spain. She's like, yeah, but in my country we think different. So if they go to America, they care about their safety more than abortion. The fact they celebrate babies, even if they have to live poor. So I don't think most left-leaning people even understand them.
Finally, I will push a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on members of Congress. This is how I will shatter the deep state and restore government that is controlled by the people and for the people. Thank you very much.
There's no point in saying good morning, because it certainly is not one.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, tell me if you agree with the term limit.
Is not even in office yet and he's already making change. It's only been a few days since President Trump was re-elected for his second term, and let me show you everything the rest of the world has done. Hamas has began calling for an immediate end to the war. Putin says he takes Donald Trump's plan to end the war in Ukraine very seriously and supports it. China says that they are hopeful for a peaceful coexistence with the United States and respect the choice of the American people. Prince of Saudi Arabia calls to strengthen the relations with the United States following Trump's win. Trump is also set to travel to India in 2025 to meet with their prime minister. And also, Hungary's prime minister has had a telephone conversation with Trump already, saying we have big plans for the future. Do you remember when they took foreign affairs out of the debate between Trump and Biden a few years ago? Yeah, this is why. Because my president would have swept the floor with yours. For goodness sakes, the bitch that got selected for you now still has a few months in office and won't do anything with it. All of this has happened and we have yet to even begin our 4 years. I cannot wait for Inauguration Day.
And now you understand why we care about what is happening in USA?
Moi, je trouve que notre rôle ici, au sein de l'Union européenne, c'est pas de commenter l'élection de Donald Trump, savoir si c'est bon ou pas bon. Il a été élu par le peuple américain. Et il va défendre l'intérêt des Américains. Et c'est légitime et c'est une bonne chose. La question, c'est est-ce que nous, on est prêt à défendre l'intérêt des Européens?
Now the point is, does Trump think the same? Trump is like, I want to take care of my people. He's saying, I want to take care of Europe. What do you mean by that? Are you going to care more for the people in Europe?
If we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay, you're delinquent. He said, yes, let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay. You got to pay your bill.
I don't understand how a country thinks that they can attack another country and not pay for protection, but use that as a moral reason to still get protection. What's even more funny is this. Germans wanted to be green energy. They went on gas. Then they supported the war against the Russians, but they still depend on the gas of the Russian. Then they blow the pipe. And then the pipe was blown, they didn't have enough energy, they had to go back to coal energy, the bastard gangster energy that is totally against green energy, and now, through the UN, USA is going to give them the gas.
I am so confused right now. The amount of girls that are coming up on my For You page talking about Trump has been elected president. Oh my gosh. We don't have any rights anymore. My grandma has more rights than I do. What the heck are you talking about? What? I can buy a car. I can buy a home. I can go to school. I can get a job. I can do everything a man can do. I can vote. I can vote. I have the freedom to go onto this wonderful app and speak whatever I feel like. That's my car telling me I need an oil change. Anyways, what rights am I losing? And if the only rights we're talking about are allowing men to come into the bathroom with me and play in women's sports and the right to kill an unborn child, I'm sorry, you're crazy and kind of demonic. So if you needed a reason to unfollow me, there it is.
I just think right now men and women have come to a point they're like, yo man, we want to care about something different that affects all at the same time. I don't think a lot of people will unfollow her.
When I woke up this morning, we had lost 5,000 YouTube subscribers compared to where we were last night. Now, the first thing I thought was, is this a glitch? We've been on YouTube for 15 years or something like that, and subscribers always just go up. They just never go down. They go up. Is something wrong with my channel? Is someone attacking my channel? What's going on?
No, they believed in a glitch in their brain that you were incentivizing them to believe as if it's okay. And once they realized, hey, so many people disagree with me, maybe I need to rethink my thought.
I started texting. And I texted Brian Tyler Cohen. And I texted Tyler Cohen and Brian Cohen and Brian Tyler, all of them. I texted all of them. I texted Jesse Dollemore. I texted Luke Beasley and Farron Cousins and Sam Cedar. And every single one of our channels since last night is hemorrhaging subscribers. What is it that is going on? Here is a graphic. As you can see, subscribers just go up, 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 and they are down. It is not just YouTube subscribers. We are seeing record cancellations of paid memberships. Record cancellations. These are the people that keep the show running. Now, for a moment, I thought, if it's just YouTube, maybe YouTube is purging people who are inactive subscribers. And once a year, usually YouTube does this, and you see a little decline, and then numbers go back up.
That's the glitch in your brain. Super positive about things that doesn't exist. You've been so disingenuous. Joy, like Kamala Harris keeps saying, it's all about joy, about nice feeling. And then realize that's a very bad feeling in a common sense world.
They're not doing it. And if that were the case, we wouldn't be seeing paid membership cancellations on the website. So now I understand what is going on. It's terrifying, but it is happening. A lot of people are checking out. I heard anecdotally from a couple dozen people who said, you know, David, I just can't do it anymore. I just can't do it. I'm checking out. I'm out. It terrifies me because our instinct is the opposite of what the right does, and we will get crushed if this is the way we respond to a defeat.
The reason they're leaving is because they never expected so many people to disagree with them. Well, guess what? Generally, you silence them. That's why you never hear about them. And once they realize that in their echo chamber, of course they're going to opt out because they're going to realize they're not as much as they thought.
And Trump won just the normal gay guy vote.
What?
Because, again, they just wanted to be left the hell alone.
You're safe, Jeffrey. He's not talking about you. I think he's talking about me, well, normal gay girl, and other people like me. You know, the LGB part. Because the LGB part is tired of y'all in the TIAQXYZ. Because about 2015, we got marriage rights. That was all we needed. That is all we needed for equality. People were dancing in the streets, we were excited, and no one gave a shit about us. It's only been about the last 5 years that people have given a giant shit about us, and homophobia is on the rise. People don't like us again. Why is that? What changed? Do you think that people just woke up one day and became more cruel? No. People like you, Jeffrey, and the rest of the TIAQXYZ came out and said, cool, now we're going to involve children. Cool, now we're going to have our teachers teach woke gender ideology, and you have to be okay with it. Cool, now we're going to push for children to be able to reassign their gender, and you just have to accept it. The world is not accepting of it. The world is accepting of the LGB, and even some of the T, if you want to mind your business as an adult, not push those ideas on anyone else, and just be a person, like everyone else. That is what the world accepts. But this new woke ideology y'all have going on when, remember when that trans person went to Disney and talked about his jingle balls in front of children? Yeah, that's what people aren't cool with. So look around, because JD's right. The gays are turning red. Look on just this platform how many gay people are voting red for the first time. Because y'all, we are tired. You guys ruined it for us.
And I don't have to say anything. This person said enough.
I think that she should keep calling Donald Trump a fascist. And I think that Americans need to keep looking at the rhetoric of Donald Trump, because I don't know why we're even thinking about electing somebody who's talking about putting people in camps. I don't know why why we want to elect somebody who's talking about mass deportation. I don't know why we're having this conversation about somebody who wants to terminate the Constitution.
Don't y'all find it strange that now that he's won, they're not calling him a threat to democracy? They're not calling him a fascist. I mean, damn, on Monday...
They're not calling him anything.
They can. On Monday, they was just calling him that. I would think that, if you really believe that, then somebody's speech would be about how America effed up and how things are about to be really bad.
Leaving that man
He's
alone.
the most powerful man in the world now.
It just makes you wonder how much of it did they really believe, or how much of it was just politics.
Even Charlemagne's brain glitches like, hey, maybe they just wanted to throw that out there and make me go after it, and I used the same word, whatever. And then suddenly they stop. But the girl wasn't. The girl, no, but he can't.
They're calling him anything.
They can.
It's a fear-mongering. Hey, whoa. Charlemagne, fix that glitch. I'm just glad you realized, maybe I was manipulated or brainwashed.
Here's how we got beat. We got beat because the Republicans and the conservatives built a different media system that had to do with online, had to do with podcasts, had to do with streaming platforms, and they were spending their money there. We were laughing at them and knocking on doors in Philadelphia and Detroit. It's like, there's no Trump people. They're not dropping literature. They're not knocking on doors.
In fact, it was laughing like, oh, Elon Musk and Charlie Kirk with their PACs don't know what they're doing.
We were making fun of Donald Trump for having thrown away his ground game and doing some weird stuff online. We thought that they were idiots. It turned out we were the idiots. We woke up in a body bag because while we were knocking on doors, they were making these phones into 24-hour-a-day political weapons for themselves. And so we got outflanked, outplayed, outbeat by people who told us the whole time that they knew what they were doing.
He is right and he's wrong. It was about connecting, but the difference is in those spaces you can call each other out and find middle ground.
I saw Kamala was on Saturday Night Live, as the losing candidate often is. It worked so well for Hillary. Let's run that back. And it just made me think, I'm sure every single member of the Saturday Night Live cast was a Harris supporter. But what if one of them wasn't? What if one of those cast members was for Trump? Would they have felt comfortable saying so? I really don't think so. They would have had to keep it to themselves. That's not a good place for us to be. I remember when, and that happens even more on the left.
On the other places, you cannot find middle ground. And they call you dumb, stupid, and idiot. And they did it so good, they actually believe they were the most smartest people in the world. Because they're the only people talking.
If you look at the arc of the Biden presidency, he was in really good shape until August of 2021. When Afghanistan happened, he went under 40. She went under 40, and they really lived there until the end of the presidency. He's still there.
Why?
I'll tell you why. Because he ran and told us that the adults were back in charge, and that was the opposite.
Yeah, they
of
were
that.
because Donald Trump was a child.
And you know what else?
Yeah.
And you know what else?
He's a
the fact that they wouldn't give these 13 service members' families the time of
bullshit,
day.
Dude.
Time of day. They
I'm
would
sorry.
Not.
I'm sorry, but
And it was
Donald
wrong.
Trump hates veterans. He called them suckers and losers. He did.
You've seen how the guy is calling Trump baby, bada bing, bada bam, bada boom. But this guy says one thing and this guy goes blah, blah, and I'm like, oh. And now you realize people went to podcasts to talk about Biden.
Veterans. He called them suckers and losers. He did. He absolutely, despite, he has his whole life. He has his entire life.
I know you're super emotional. I just...
Of course I am. I'm terrified.
I'm telling you the political reality is that when they made that decision...
It doesn't matter. But you don't admit
that
Donald Trump hates veterans. You don't admit it. You deny a man, Chief John Kelly, a Marine. You say he lied.
You're still campaigning.
You say he lied. It's not over. It'll never be over. It'll never be over. You wish.
The political reality is when they made that decision and everyone realized, oh my gosh, these aren't the competent adults that we were promised.
Donald Trump is.
And then when you pile on top of it the decisions that made inflation worse, it was a compounding interest of political crap over time that they could never get out of, and that's how she lost the race.
There was a bipartisan consensus to get out of Afghanistan. That wasn't the point. It was the way it was done.
Decision to get
no, hold on. It was the implementation. It was the fact that they took out our soldiers first instead of last, which is you would think would be common sense. And again, it's like you said, we thought the adults were in the room. That's why people voted for Biden. A return to normalcy, a return to competence. He's a lifelong public servant. We thought we're going to get normal, we're going to get competent. And that's what
we did. We did. And the veterans community,
Afghanistan doesn't signal that.
The wars in Afghanistan, the war in Iraq, the Republican policies that led to those wars, the idea that Joe Biden made the final difficult decision, and his administration and his military leaders. I mean, you guys live on the tippy top of bullshit mountain. If you actually think that so many people think that the pullout of Afghanistan was the pivot point, are you kidding me?
Well, I mean, I can read a chart and I can read a poll. I guess you can't. But the reality is when he made that decision...
Your petty insults are so weak, dude. You have no idea. Like, I don't even understand if you hear yourself talking.
Bruh, I don't even want to hear you talk. I'm like, bruh, they left so much money. That is the reason why it's wild that you actually can speak like a gangster like that. I'm not surprised you lost.
Don't get me wrong, ma cosa kita bong. Butta fire na mi blonde, kush hash, purple skunk, criollo, colombici, jam, jam, dur, loqueta, verdetta, welcome.